Classical guitar is well known for guitarists using their actual nails. We just grow our nails long, and then we actually use them to pluck the strings. Now I'm going to show you my nails so you can get a look at what I'm doing here, but it's very important that you should know that everybody's hand is slightly different and everybody has different nails. So actually, just because you see my nails, because you have a different anatomy, it's possible that if you shaped your nails exactly like mine, it wouldn't work for you. So shaping your nails, it really depends on your type of finger shape, how hard your nails are, whether you have hooked nails, whether you have ridges in your nails, how much curvature there is in your nail when looked at from straight on, and a host of other factors and preferences. But there are some general things I'd like to show you that are going to help you on your path towards shaping your nails. The basic idea with nails is that we have organic picks on the end of every finger. It's just an extra hard surface to pluck the string with. And so we want a nail which is going to help us push the string into motion. There are many shapes you can file your nail in that will do this. The two I'm going to talk about today are the ramp, which is what I use, and then the rounded shape. A ramped nail, as you can see when you look at my nails, is one where it's actually very short on the left side. In fact, the corner of the nail sort of disappears into the flesh, but then the nail gets longer and longer as it goes to the right. And the reason this shape works is because when we pluck a string, the string actually starts on the left side of the nail, where the nail is the shortest, and then it slides off to the right. And since the ramp gets bigger, that pushes the string down and makes for a better tone. So in my experience, the ramp shape gives you a louder, warmer sound. Then the rounded shape is basically we just follow the contour of the fingertip. And some of my colleagues who use the rounded shape argue that the pros of the rounded shape are that basically you can pluck from many different angles and still use the nail. I think you're a bit more limited from, the plucking angles with the ramp shape. The string for the thumb actually starts in the middle of the nail and then rides to the left of the nail. And in my experience, there are only two shapes that seem to really work well here. There's a ramp starting high and going low on the left side, or short on the right side and long on the left side. Hey friends, we'll get back to the video in just a second. I just wanted to let you know that this guitar tip you're watching is actually just a small clip from a very large classical guitar course that I made called Classical Guitar Pro. So there's 6 more hours where this came from, where I teach you everything you need to know how to play the classical guitar so that you can play your first recital of music. Today's video is only half of the full video on nails in the full course, and there are 53 other videos for you to watch. So please do check that out at the link in the description. Back to the video. So now I'm going to teach you how I shape my nails. I take the file and I like to put it as if it was a 7th string below the 1st. I leave it there. And then I find my hand position on the guitar that I use. Maybe I play a little bit to find how I use my hand. And then once I'm in that position, I put all my fingers, P, I, M, and A, on the 1st string, making sure that my thumb is to the left of my other fingers. Then I hop my fingers all onto the file as if it was a string, and I try to preserve all those angles as I bring the file up. I rotate it so that I can see now my nails from this point of view here. Basically, I have my thumb on the back of the file and my fingers on the front of the file, and you'll notice that compared to the file, if the file is 180 degrees, the fingers are coming at the file pretty perpendicularly, right? And then I slant just a little bit to the left, like I was talking about before with my hand position. Then I grab the file as if it was a string, and what I'm actually going to do is file left and right. And what I'm doing here is I'm filing all 3 nails, I, M, and A, at the same time. And I actually do this when I'm looking at my nails in this direction. And I go left and right, left and right. You'll see some dust flying off here, that's okay. And what we're trying to do here now is file until all the nails sit flat on the file. So if you see one of the nails sticking up in a rounded way off the file, that's no good. We want all the nails to sort of rest flat on the file. They should be being filed kind of at an angle there. Notice a few things. I'm slanted a little to the left to make that ramp. So if you're totally perpendicular, you won't get a ramp. You have to be slanted a little to the left, just a hair. Another thing is that when I'm doing this, my tip joints are flexed or relaxed, just like when I play the string. They're not firm. So my tip joints are collapsed. I'm a little bit to the left, and I'm filing left and right. Eventually, your fingers are going to form this ramp shape, which will just resemble how it sits on the file. Now, it's very important that you don't file too much before playing. Always file your nails with a guitar in your hand, because you need to file, play, file, play. If you file off of the guitar in another room and you come back to the guitar, chances are you're gonna have a bad surprise. Every time I file my nails without a guitar, it's gone terribly. So you file it a little bit and then bring your fingers to the strings and play with each one. M, A, I, and see how it feels. If it feels like you're getting too caught on the string, then you have to change the angle a little bit. Experiment with different angles and see if you can make it feel a lot better or sound nicer. Now, it's very important that with whatever shape you're going for here, we're trying to file underneath the nail. We're trying to get under the nails, in between the flesh and the string. That's where the string is going to go. It's where it starts, and then it shoots off the nails, like that. And that's what projects the string and displaces it so much that it makes a really nice tone. So with the file, there's a few parameters you can play with. The first is you can play with how much slant, right? So if you're perpendicular on the file, you can play with slanting a little bit or even more, and then that'll change the feeling of your fingers on the string. Another really important angle you should consider is this one. Okay, so this is kind of like 90 degrees and this is 0 degrees, right? So I think 45 degrees is a really good approach. So I'm really approaching the nail file at a 45-degree angle this way. And then from this point of view, I'm approaching it perpendicular at 90 degrees, but then rocking a little to the left. So I don't know what that is, 85 or something like that. So mess around with these different angles and you'll completely change the feel you have on the string. In my experience, if I'm catching on the string, I'm trying to play but I can't get through the string, that means I filed my nails too flat. I have to go more upward towards 50 degrees, 60 degrees, something like that. Again, everyone's nail shape is different, so where are your angles? Well, you'll have to experiment, and you'll find that certain shapes, certain angles really help you make playing super easy and give you a good sound, and then other directions, if you go too flat or too perpendicular, then you go in the wrong direction. Experiment and you'll find out. Now, if you want that rounded shape, all you have to do is, when you file, do this. So you just change the angle like that. That way you just mimic the curvature of the fingertip. Or you could do a little bit on this side and slowly work your way around, and this will round off your nails. But I don't want that, so I'm just going to file in one plane for me. Now, after you file a lot, you'll have all this dust on your fingernails. You can blow it off or maybe rub it off on your jeans or whatever, but get all that out of there. At the end, when I'm done filing, I like to actually do this. I like to quickly just go over the front of the nail, because this kind of cuts off this sharp angle I've created. And now we can go to the thumb. For the thumb, I do the same thing as the fingers. I put the nail file as if it was a 7th string, but on this side now, and I pop my thumb over to the nail file, and then I try to preserve that angle, and then I just file left and right. Remember that we're filing underneath the nail. We're not filing straight on. We're trying to get underneath the nails, same as the fingers. So I file left and right until I create a smooth little pocket, a little ramp in which the string is going to sit, and that's how it's going to make a really good sound. Then test it. So let's say you filed and filed until your nails are all sitting really nicely on that file, and then when you play, it makes a really good sound. Then we're ready to do the next step. Now you could finish with the glass nail file, and that's smooth enough that I can make a pretty good sound, but it's still a little bit scratchy, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh sounding. And to get rid of that last scratchy sound, sandpaper is the best tool, I think. So this is 3M Open Coat 500 grit sandpaper, but you can also get other grits. You can get like 1000 grit sandpaper, 1500. And the idea here is that this is super fine. It doesn't hurt my finger to rub it. This is just to polish, like jeweler's sandpaper, to polish the nails and get rid of all those microscopic imperfections so that the nails are glassy smooth. And this is what makes for a really good tone on the guitar. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna get under the nails, just buff it like crazy. Try to get every single edge of the nail. The right side, the left side, underneath the nails, right on the nails, on top of the nails. Believe it or not, you have to actually file some of the top. You don't have to file all the way back at the cuticle, but you have to file the top of the nail because the string actually makes its way around the nail. Isn't that a great sound? Okay, and then I actually like to play the sandpaper. So I'm holding the sandpaper with my thumb on this side, right? And then I just kind of play it. Now, I'm telling you, if you haven't done this before, now when you play, oh, it feels so good. It's like a hot knife through butter. And it sounds really good. There's no scratchy sounds. So now my nails are ready to play at their best. To finish talking about shaping nails, it's really important to point out that so much of nail shape comes down to preference, and there's no one perfect nail shape. Everybody has slightly different nails. And another huge factor is how long your nails are. I have friends who like their nails to be like 3 millimeters long, and I have friends who play with little to no nail. And you'll find the amount of nail that works best for you, but do experiment. I hope you guys enjoyed today's free guitar tip. Remember that if you want to see 6 more hours where this came from, the full course for classical guitar that I made, go to classicalguitar-pro.com. The link is in the description, and there's good news. The second volume, the intermediate volume, is coming out very soon, so stay tuned.